Welcome back to an exciting, entertaining, fun, and firecracker episode of the Guide to Poor Parenting podcast where me, Jason,
and me, Jennifer,
have a few drinks
and talk shit about our kids.
Please follow us on Instagram at Guide to Poor Parenting, all one word, and Twitter and Facebook, it's at Poor Parent Pod. Jennifer,
yep.
You want to introduce our guest, our esteemed guest that we're so excited to have?
Yes, this guest knows all about our kids.
She has to put up with them for 3 hours a day during the week.
She did with Wesley,
That's
what
true.
she still does with Kalia, but we have Miss Teasha here.
Yay! Miss Teasha.
Hello.
A little closer to your mouth.
Ooh, thanks for having me, y'all.
Oh my gosh, thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
When we first met, it was like, ooh, Teasha seems like she's fun. We're gonna have to have her on the podcast. Zay and I usually have a big Christmas party every year. Mm-hmm. And you drink, right? Mm-hmm. So we do you know what Dirty Santa is? Mm-hmm. We do a booze Dirty Santa. Ooh. I'll let you know about the Christmas party.
Okay.
But we are so excited. You work at, I'm not going to name names, but you work with our kids in the afternoons and are just a blast to be around. We adore you. So thanks for coming out.
Yes, thanks for having me. This should be fun.
It should be. Now, how many kids you got, Miss Teasha?
I have 2 kids. I have a 17-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Oh, that was a big age difference. Mm-hmm. Not as big as Jennifer and her 18-year younger brother, but
Yes. Yes.
I was about to say, you're pretty young. Was the first one on accident, I'm assuming?
I mean, God really wanted me to be a parent. That's what I'm going to say.
There you go.
I think he was like, I got something for you. And I was like, okay. So here we are, all nervous and stuff. And here we are 18 years later because, everyone thought I had a fake baby. I'm like, no, I don't have time to walk around with a fake baby.
Okay. I just realized we didn't introduce our cocktail. So what are we drinking? Or do you want me to do it? Okay.
We are drinking Trader Joe's Santa Barbara County Noir. Miss Teasha wanted a semi-red.
Or was it semi-sweet?
Semi-sweet.
Semi-sweet.
Sorry.
Okay, you texted me and I was like, I don't know what and I had already texted you 10 times. I'm embarrassed to text her again. That's what the hell semi is.
But apparently you did very well because she likes it. Okay. I like it as well.
Let me try it. This is my first little...
Num.
Too big of a sip.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, let me try that again.
Sorry to our 4 listeners.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. It's got a good flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
Not too. We have gotten some boo-boo wine over because Costco.
No, Trader Joe's.
No, not even. And Trader Joe's.
Yeah. The Advent calendar. Yeah. Sorry.
So this, Teasha, your episode will probably come out in probably November-ish, maybe December timeframe. But by the time yours comes out, we'll have done probably about 60, maybe 4.
Math is hard.
Zane is chuckling in the background here. Probably about 40 to 50 podcast episodes already. And in that time frame, we've gotten some really good wines, some really good liquor, and some bad wine, very bland liquor. Yep. So I'm glad we finally got a good one.
Yep.
Yes. I shop at the Windmill.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the Windmill?
Yeah.
Yes, the Windmill. They're all pretty good. I used to work there during COVID because I had to remain like an important person that needed to come outside. So that was a very important job.
Yeah, because a lot of people were going to get their liquor.
Yeah, let us say that's how we started this podcast.
Yeah. E-learning.
Yeah. Got to drink just to get through the day.
So you have been doing this, we'll say, childcare endeavor I've known you for this is my 2nd year I've known you at the school we go to. Is this your first job doing this kind of work?
No, I used to do after school care and tutoring in an underserved community. And of course COVID happened and I was on federal property. So that changed everything. So, I had to even go home myself. And so that's how I got started. And then once everything started opening up again, the position open, I had always wanted to work at the school, see it on a different level. And I just so happened to have that opportunity to present itself because I wasn't interested really going back into the sector I was in previously, mostly because of all the COVID rules and then when you're on someone else's property, you gotta.
Where were you prior? Are you able to discuss that or no?
I was down off of Holmes Avenue, that little community right there. Yeah. right down the road, down in Cersei Homes, is where I used to be.
Over, what is that called in that neighborhood? Over by Sunny Hereford?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you keep going like you going downtown.
Oh, okay.
And it's just those two little roads. Yeah, that's Cersei
okay.
Homes. That's a part of, the housing authority.
What is that neighborhood? Something Heights? Terry Heights is what it's called. That
Yes,
neighborhood.
keep going past Terry Heights.
It's like there's not much. Oh, wait, is it that the government housing?
Yes.
Almost. Okay.
Yes, close to downtown.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So it was. So that was a federal program you were working with, or?
No. So, of course, housing owns the property.
Yeah.
And so, I'm able to provide a service that's needed in their community to support, the kids and the school. So I had already started working as a liaison between the school, and then mostly because, like, my kids go there. Like, my oldest daughter, she went to Blossomwood. Mm-hmm. So I just realized that other people wasn't having the same experience I was. And so I wanted to tap into, okay, so why is your experience going the way that it's going? Because mine, I'm just having a blast over here.
Okay.
And so that's how I got started in working with kids and being a part of the school.
And before that, you were shilling out liquor alcoholics?
Oh, no, that just happened after,
was
during COVID.
Oh, just during COVID.
Yes.
You were just enabling people's alcoholism for the fun of it.
Oh, yes. Just very...
I'm sure sales went up.
It did. Yeah. And if you just so happen, like to get me and you come in, we're going to buy everything from the middle up. Because I don't know what nothing tastes like down on the bottom shelf.
You're a good salesperson.
Yes.
If you don't want to remember the next day or you want to have a wicked hangover and throw up, you go at that bottom there. Yeah, go ahead. Get that bottom shelf.
Yes.
Get that Pino.
I'm just too old for that.
Yeah.
Now, I drank it when I was younger, but...
I can drink it if it's mixed in with stuff, but I can't, especially bourbons really and gin are like the only things I can drink straight. Mm-hmm. Like we had tequila with one of Jennifer's friends on the podcast, and some strong tequila. I don't like it. I got through it.
Yeah.
And I got drunk.
Yep.
So you had your first baby. What was your first baby's name?
Zanaya. I had her when I was 19. So
you're not that young.
Yeah.
That's kind of mean.
Well, no, I was
You're not that young.
No, I apologize. That was a kind of shitty thing to say. I just meant when you said you had her young, I was like, oh, I'm picturing like 15, 16, something like that in high school.
Okay.
Now, I had a lot of friends that had their kids at 15, 16, but,
my daughter.
Yeah, I held on a couple more years there, and I just thank God, like I said, really wanted me to be a parent because, I used every precaution in the world and I still got pregnant. And I'm like, okay, cool little science experiment that's about to happen. Let's see how this goes down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, like, here you go. And then she had so much personality when she was a kid, like when she was smaller, because she was a little bratty. I'm not even going to tell no stories. Okay, like I couldn't wait for her to get 10.
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like it took forever to get to 10.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh my gosh.
She a little drama queen.
Oh, yeah. Yes, she was.
That's funny. Now, I want to go back to before we introduced the drinks, you were saying that people thought you had a fake baby?
Yes.
Why?
Because when they would see her, she didn't look real.
Oh,
It was like
okay.
Because, she wouldn't move. She wouldn't cry.
Oh.
She would just be still. They'd be like, you remember when the babies first started coming out, and they looked real.
Yeah, the baby dolls.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, someone really thought that I had time to walk around with a baby doll. I'm like, no, this is a real baby.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, this is what I'm doing today.
That is funny. When you said fake baby, at first I thought it was that they thought you had a fake pregnancy. So that's why I wanted to ask to kind of clarify that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
to actually have a fake, I don't think I've ever assumed anyone had a fake baby because, hell, there are people probably that will walk around with fake babies, but I would never even ask that question. It's very rude.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I put the work in for this one. So,
Right?
Like, here we are.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fake babies, have y'all seen that? It's been 100 years since I've seen it. It was I think it was a news clip, but this lady would bring a car seat in, and you know how a lot of people will put the blanket over the car seat and you just see the baby's legs hanging out? Mm-hmm. It was just a pair of fake legs, and they would stuff groceries up in there to steal from the grocery store.
Oh, wow.
I was like, people are clever.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had a fake baby at 19. Are you here from Huntsville?
No, I lived in I was in North Carolina. I mean, it was like, I don't even know how to explain it because, like for me, I guess it was a surreal moment. Like, oh snap, we're pregnant. We're really about to have a baby. Like, God trusts you that much. Like, oh snap, because I mean, that was just my nerves. But, I'm like, okay, well, as long as she keep breathing every day,
Right.
that's all that matters,
Right.
And I mean, like here we
survived.
are. We're a senior in high school. We want to go to Howard.
Oh, okay.
She goes to College Academy.
Okay.
So she's doing really, really well. And I'm
That's
just
good.
really happy for her.
That's good.
I don't put no money in her account
Oh,
because
wow.
it'll get spent just as soon as I put it in there.
Right.
I had to learn a couple of times. So with that, but she actually prayed for Dallas. Like one day she was sitting there and she's like, Mom, I'm tired of being alone. And I was like, it'll be okay. Like, it's all about you, And she was not feeling that conversation. And so I was like, well, the only way, like you get anything like that is unless you pray about it because, I'm not doing it. We're not having no more kids, okay? I am done, sister. And she went down to the bottom of that bag and she said, Dear God, if you could just bless me with a little sister, not a brother, a sister. And then like 6 months later, I'm like, oh, I really laughed at that. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say, you can send her back down there and be like, Dear God, can I have $1 million,
Yeah.
please?
Yes, like why she didn't pray for that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because Mama told her not to.
Yeah.
Don't pray for a baby sister.
But yeah, then, like Dallas came along and...
Now, were you in Huntsville by the time Dallas came along?
Yes, I was in Huntsville. I mean, she was a really, really tough pregnancy to go through. I mean, I couldn't work. I was on bed rest in month 4 with her. I'm like,
wow.
Oh, yeah, she took a lot. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, so here we go again. And she just took a lot. So my mom, she actually came and got me because I was in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And it got kind of hard for me to like really take care of my oldest daughter the way she needed to be taken care of because I needed to be taken care of too. And then I
Right.
had to go through physical therapy while I was pregnant because it was
For
just
what?
because I'm a short person and I'm not used to balancing all this weight. And I would fall.
Oh, wow.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it was something else. Like, so all I did in that pregnancy was just, drink milk and fall asleep. Like, we're just going to drink milk,
And physical therapy.
Yeah, physical therapy
Wow.
and drink milk.
I don't think I've ever heard of anyone going to physical therapy just to make sure that they have the balance to keep the belly.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that either.
Yes, it's a lot of weight. Like,
Yeah.
you got to really think about, like, what you're carrying and all of the growth that's going on, and then you can't see your feet, so
Right.
it's really throwing your balance off.
Did you get big quick?
No, I didn't get big quick. It was towards the end where you just can't see. Like after month 6, you can't see your feet. You
The
got
belly
all these
button
like
pops out.
different pressure things going on. Then she kicked me in my groin. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
gosh.
So I had a groin injury
Oh, wow.
during pregnancy that required for me to go to physical therapy. And so I would do the swim therapy, and that's when I wouldn't be in no type of pain because
Right.
she would be happy that I'm in the pool.
Yeah.
But I can't live in a pool, and I'm not having a mermaid. So, and then that one morning I went to, oh my gosh, this is so funny because I was having, because I'm walking around with this big old belly, and I had to put a bathing suit on, so I was already done. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was already in an argument with my body. And so then, this is early in the morning. This is after the ladies then got their hair done at like 5 o'clock, but they're at the pool. And these old men come getting in the pool, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? Did I come on senior morning? And that man, he got in with them little Speedos on. And Cheryl and that little lady was down there just afloat, and it's the way old people float. Not against nobody, but I was just like, I think we need to get up out this pool.
Right.
Like, it was a warm pool too, so I went ahead and got in the cold pool. I was like, we just gonna have to go to the cold pool this morning.
Yeah.
But going in there on senior morning was hilarious to me. I was just sitting there like, okay, so, we're big and pregnant. And then this baby's inside of me just floating around like, ooh, what's this? What's that? But yeah, physical therapy was a lot. It was a lot. And then, like I said, I had to move here to Huntsville because, my mom, she took care of me all the way to the end. So.
Oh, I was wondering what brought you here. Is your mom?
Yeah.
Why was your mama here?
She had moved here because my brother was living here.
Okay.
So she was already here.
Was he like a military kid? Or?
No, he wasn't military. He's just, like one of her kids.
Well, so were you.
Okay. Yeah, but she liked him.
That means we don't ask questions about that when she says stuff like that.
And bring up
We
questions.
leave that part alone and we go to the next part.
So do you still have a lot of family back in North Carolina?
I do, mostly on my dad's side. My mom's side, she, because I'm also from D.C., so was born in D.C., then we moved to North Carolina, so my dad has a lot of family in North Carolina, so I grew up in North Carolina. We would always go back and forth, to visit, and then that's just how it is. And I mean, I'm that way now because, my kids want to know, where did you come from? How did you become so cool? I'm first of all, I was born in the 80s.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
Come on.
I came before
millennials and
computers.
Gen Zs.
They will never know the excitement of Super Mario and Zelda.
Yep. Yeah.
So, I always take them back to DC to show them, this is where I come from.
Right.
And then they fell in love with it. So I go back and forth a whole lot.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good place to go back and forth.
Heck yeah.
I think so.
What part of Tennessee? What part of D.C.?
Southeast.
Okay. Is that Anacostia area?
No.
Or am I, no.
No, that's nowhere.
Okay, I thought.
But I had a really good time growing up there until we moved to North Carolina, and then it was a culture shock. And then even moving from North Carolina to here was a big culture shock for me because it's the city. Living in Charlotte.
Oh, Huntsville is.
It was a culture shock for me.
Well, no, I mean, you said it's the city. You're talking about Charlotte.
I'm talking about Charlotte in North Carolina.
Oh, it was the bigger city than Huntsville. Oh, yeah. Know that feeling.
Yes. So I was like, okay, Huntsville.
Huntsville's a little big city.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But y'all know when I first found out about Huntsville, I was sitting on my friend's dad's couch and this guy had came on, and I guess it was something that had happened in the projects, and he was like, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Oh, Antoine Johnson.
Yes, that's when I first heard about Huntsville.
Oh, that's sad.
And then I came here and I was like, oh my gosh, that was on Facebook.
I saw him not too long ago. Like about 3 years ago. It was at Tenders downtown or in 5 Points, and the cashier started like freaking out. She's like, and she didn't say anything, but I was like, what is she freaking out about? And then I looked and I was like, oh, wait, I think I know him. And then I was like, who's the hide your kids person? Like Antoine Johnson.
That's funny.
I get excited when I see him too.
Yeah.
So I ain't even gonna tell nobody.
Our little local celebrity. That's so funny. Yeah, I would imagine moving from D.C., which is a huge city, to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is not a small city itself, is a big culture shock. And part of the South, was it like, how was that transition?
It wasn't, well, we lived in the county, so I grew up in Stanley County. And Charlotte was like the city that I could get to next to, to get my city vibes in. Because, when you're younger, I felt like I was a lightning bug. I just didn't I wanted to be up all night long, all the time. Oh. So I would spend all my nightlife in Charlotte, I would.
I was wondering where you were going with that reference. I was like, what's a lightning bug mean?
Yeah, we just got to be up all night long partying,
okay.
and still make it to work on time in the morning.
That sounds like Jennifer when she was a child.
But yeah, so I don't know. I guess going from being in DC and being around all this culture, all this diversity, and then we moved down to Stanley County, and I'm like, what in the world? And I ain't even gonna lie, I'm like, where all the people?
I was wondering what the racism situation was like in North Carolina.
I mean,
was it
most
rough?
people. Well, some people thought I was from Texas because of my accent. I'm like, no, I'm from here, but
I would not have picked D.C. because if you had told me North Carolina is where you were born
South.
and raised, South,
South?
No, North.
Oh,
I was like, wait, I thought I heard.
I thought I heard. Sorry.
I was like, if you had told me, like, if you had said, oh, from one of the Carolinas, I'm like, oh yeah, because I grew up in Texas, and you don't sound like a Texan. D.C. surprised me because you have I'm not gonna say strong, but you have a distinct accent.
Yes.
Is that all from living in North Carolina?
I believe so, you know.
Is your mama?
No, my mama don't
too?
even talk like this. She doesn't.
How old were you when you moved to South Carolina? North Carolina. I don't know why I want to say South.
7.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That makes
a
sense.
little
Yeah.
bit more sense.
It was a formative era. Then,
Yeah.
Yeah, about 7
Okay.
is when we moved down there.
That's where you got the accent.
Yes.
You just, yeah.
And then, you know, of course, you got those teachers who want to make sure you enunciate all of your words. You know, say it like this. And my grandma, she used to do tea parties too.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lot wrapped up
You
in
fancy.
to
It's
this.
fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's a lot wrapped up into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just try to have as much fun as I possibly can.
Hey, that's good.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Now, how many? You said you had a brother lives here. How many siblings do you have?
I have a lot of siblings. So in all, I have 8. Okay, but they're not like all from like the same person.
Oh, okay.
Because like my dad, he had like 4. He had 5 kids. I'm sorry, he had 5 kids. Okay, if I get messed up, y'all don't be mad at me because
You've been drinking wine.
I know, right? But he had a lot of kids.
Right.
Okay?
That's-
And he just so happened to have some before he had me.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Like my older brothers and sisters on my dad's side, they're like 20 and 30 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
And I know. And then my mom, she was a teen mom. So my brother and sister, they're like 10, 15 years older than me. And then like when her and my dad got together, I guess they were like, we're going to get it right this time. And then they had us. So it's like this set of kids, that set of kids, and then the last set of kids.
Gotcha.
So it makes about 8 in all.
How many was in the last set?
3.
Now, you said your mom was a teen mama,
Yes.
and your dad had a 20-year-old child. How did when he met your
I
mom?
know, right? Look, that might be a different podcast, okay? I got to bring my sister on that one because, oh my God, like he was up there, okay?
Oh,
he was up there. And from my understanding, he was very persistent. I said, oh, okay.
Lord,
All right.
that sounds like my daughter. She was 17. She was 17 in Coleman and started dating at 37. And I was like, good thing I wasn't your daddy at the time. I had some words with this young man.
Yeah.
Young man, he was practically, I mean, he's literally 6 years younger than I am. We're too close in age. That's dirty.
Yeah, my mom, she was older when she had me because she had me like when she was 31.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So...
So your other siblings she had when she was a teen.
Yeah, when she was a teen. And then, you know, she had me when she was 31. So...
Are you the baby?
I'm the baby girl, yes.
Okay.
And then my youngest brother, he's the baby boy.
I got you.
So that's how it goes.
There's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah.
It's
Are
a lot.
Are your parents still together?
No, they're not. My dad, he passed away, you know, about 18 years ago.
Oh,
like
so
right
sorry.
after I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh, okay, so those are the gifts we leave and when we leave this earth. You know? So, because around the time I found out I was pregnant, my daddy had died.
Yeah.
So, no. I had found out I was pregnant after my dad had died. And then when I had added up all the weeks, I was like, oh, so, you know, I had conceived her on the day he died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
wow.
that's what I was like.
Oh.
Oh, God really wanted me to be a
Damn.
parent. I was
Ooh.
like, ooh. I was sitting there like, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me add this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, so those are the gifts we leave? Like, because you know how they say when one leaves, another one comes?
Yep.
Yeah, so she...
That's how you got the reincarnated soul of your daddy.
Yes, probably did. I mean, she told my nerves the first 8 years. I'm not going to tell those stories.
Hopefully she won't be dating a 17-year-old when she's in her 30s.
You know, what's weird, though? What's weird now is that that happens to her. Like, because she works at the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, we come across these individuals who think that this type of behavior is okay and it's not okay.
Nope.
And what I love about it the most from her is she'd be like, Mom, what is wrong with them? Like, don't they know, like, I'm a kid? I just tell them I'm a minor. And hopefully that scares them away. But it doesn't scare them away.
It doesn't.
They be sitting there, like, really, really trying to coerce her. And I'm like, do you need me to pull up?
Yeah.
You know?
That is my greatest fear with Kalia, because she's about to turn 10 and she's developed. She's she's menstruating regularly. She's probably a B cup at this point. She's got a full body and start attracting attention. Men at inappropriate ages, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yes, like, how do you get through it? And you don't. You have to, like, I think at these ages right here, you have to, like, really, really educate and just be blunt and open with your kid, because this world is going to be blunt and open. This world is ugly. This world is cold. This world is hot. This world does not care who your mama is, who your daddy is. And if you're like not exposed to it, you're just not exposed to it. But I feel like, you know, like having a parent from the 80s, and I think, I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
we are off from the 80s.
I'm an 80s baby, so yes, I agree with that.
You know, just giving her, okay, this is going to happen in the world. This is what you're going to have to deal with. This is my reality. I just shield you from it.
Right.
Then when I think about how much I've shielded her from reality, she's like, Mom, I didn't know you was going through this. I'm like, yes, girl.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I am. I'm so glad that you can identify and relate.
Yeah.
But yes, like, even coming into her own, like, people will tell her, oh, you're pretty. And she's like, I know. Like, my mama tells me that. But when someone, like, goes in on it, she's like, okay, I'm not all that.
Right.
She's like, how do you deal with that energy when someone, like, keeps talking about, like, your physical looks and what you look like? You know, and I'm like, well, that's just some people's way of, you know, like, feeling important to another person is by what they look like.
Right.
And then here you are just being all, yeah, I'm just Anaya. I'm cool. You know, just how we raise them.
Right.
I believe.
Yep.
Oh, Lord. So what you said Anaya is her name? Back how old was 17? It would be like 2005 or 2006? 2006. So what inspired, was your second daughter Dallas completely an accident?
Yeah, she was a surprise too.
She was a prayer.
Oh, that's
remember?
right. She was an
prayer.
answered prayer.
Remember?
Yes.
Yes. she
For
was a
for
prayer.
Anaya, but not for
Not for Miss Teasha.
No.
Yeah, because I could have just did with no kids, okay? Like,
Yeah.
Well, you got your daddy in one, and then who passed to have when you got Dallas?
Yeah.
look,
Who's
I
Dallas
don't
and
even
Reed?
know. I was just stuck. Like, okay, it's summertime. Like, I'm like, this summertime heat gets me every single time because their birthdays are a day apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the one was born on the 8th, and then the other one's born on the 7th of March. One is born at 3 a.m. The other one is born at 3 p.m. and the other one is born at 2:55 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, okay, so I guess this is my Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. You know, because that's how I feel when I'm celebrating the birthday. It's
Right.
like, okay, this is the eve and then this is the day. Y'all, it be a lot.
I bet it
You
is.
know, and then this Anaya was so funny because she was like, Mommy, please don't have her on my birthday because then I won't have a day to myself.
Aw.
And I'm like, no, you prayed for this.
Right.
Remember?
This is your fault, little
She
girl.
was sitting there sick as ever, like, oh my gosh, please don't have her on my day. Just come out today, Dallas.
That's funny.
So funny.
And what really sucks is that you have Christmas for both girls, then you have birthday just 3 months later. So that is a lot of money that gets put out in December and then March. Whew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for Christmas, I skim back.
Yeah.
Because I know their birthday is coming.
Right.
And then I make them celebrate a sister's day too. Because, I mean, it's not that often like you get kids that's so far apart and then their birthdays are a day after each other. And I'm like, oh, since you prayed for this, y'all have to have do a day together.
Okay.
So, I make them have a Sister's Day. So I eat a lot of cupcakes in March.
Right.
That's all I buy is cupcakes.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
Do Dallas and what's her name again?
Zanaya.
Do they get along pretty well?
They do. I mean, they have their fights. You
Okay.
know, there's like oil and water on the Pisces, side there, because they're both Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
So they have, they're both the same sometimes.
Yeah.
But when they get to arguing, I just sit there real
With your
quietly,
popcorn?
and I just go back and forth.
Yep.
And back and forth. And then they be getting that little bass in their voice. And then I be like, well, at the end of the day, I'm the one with the last, word on everything. So how about everybody shut up and shut down?
Right.
Yeah. Or if they're arguing on the other side of the house, because I live on the other side of the house, like the kitchen separates us.
Okay.
So, but if I hear them over there arguing, and they're real quiet, okay?
Right.
Like, if they're crying, I can hear it. Like, they don't even have to, like, how some kids just belt it out?
Yeah.
They don't belt it out.
Okay.
Like, I will go find where this whimpering is coming from. But I'll hear them whisper fighting with each other. And I'm like, what's going on? Nothing. Nothing's going on. We handle it. I'm like, okay. Because if I have to come across here, we're going to have some problems.
If I pass this kitchen.
Yes.
Y'all
if
in
I
trouble.
walk past this kitchen, it is going down.
Right.
But when they argue, it is the funniest thing in the world to me, because I'm like, the way she sets that 17-year-old on fire.
She knows all the buttons to push.
It was kind of like, and I guess that's like payback from when I laughed at my brothers that one time. They got into a fight. It was hilarious. It was the funniest fight in the world.
Right.
Because they almost broke my water. This is when I was pregnant with Zanaya. And my brothers, they were like younger. So Raymar, I believe he was like, let's say he was 14. And then Brandon is 10. And they get into this argument about the room not being clean. And they got to share the room. And so my oldest brother is like, my youngest oldest brother, that's how I call it. He's like, get up and get in here and clean this up. And, my little brother's, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just going to play my video games. And then they start cracking on each other. And I'm like, Mama, come get these kids, because my water about to break, Well, and then they start, like ragging on each other. And I'm just sitting there, and they are saying some of the funniest stuff in the world. And then when those two get to arguing, I'm like, that's what you get. That's what you get for laughing at them that day. Like, it came back full circle.
I've always told I'm big in Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I've always told my little brothers, be careful what you do to your mama. It'll happen to you when you have kids.
Yes.
And everything I ever did as a kid, it's happened to me as an adult in dealing with these kids. It's like, I was mostly a good kid, but I did some bad.
Yeah.
Revisited upon me.
Yeah. I'm very happy that we lived in the time where we didn't have cameras or video cameras on us all the time, because there would be digital evidence of my
Yeah, I had a ball.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed myself.
Yep.
What was Teasha in high school like?
I knew everybody. I didn't, try to just know one group, because of course we have different classes and all that good stuff.
So you weren't in one clique, you just kind of knew people in all the cliques.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got cheerleader friends. Hey, you gonna come watch me cheer?
Right.
You got people who run track, or you gonna come watch me run? Like, sure, I'll come. Then it was just people, you grew up with. So, but I got in trouble a lot in high school. I was a little comedian. I'm not even going to tell no stories. But, I had a good time, and I made AB Honor Roll. Like, my name was always in the newspaper.
Well, that's good.
But, some of them teachers' nerves, I just tore their nerves up. One teacher in particular, as a grown-up, he won't come near me. I'd be like,
funny.
I promise I'm not the same. I know. I
done
know.
grown some.
He was like, no, you were awful. And I'm like, I know I was. But sometimes your class was a little boring. He taught world history.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But it wasn't always my fault. It was me laughing that got me in trouble.
Yeah.
Did you have a big boisterous laugh?
If it was funny, Like,
And he didn't mean for it to be funny, and you still laughed, and then he got mad at you for laughing.
yes.
Yeah.
Like my friend Kim, she had said something one day. She was talking about this argument she had got into with her brother. And she was like, and do you know this ninja had the nerve to hit me in my face? She says, I beat him up. But Kim was like, she was like in 10th grade. And she's already 6'5".
Oh, wow.
So just imagine this tall girl
Good Lord.
beating up her little 10-year-old brother. And they would argue or whatever. But the way she was telling the story, and I was just sitting there writing my little notes like, And when she got to that point, and if y'all could have just seen the look on her face, and I bust out laughing.
Right.
And so the teacher, he heard it too, right?
What is he laughing?
Yeah, I'm like, what?
That shit was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, Teasha, that's enough. And I'm like, but I was like, okay. So I'm still sitting there just laughing and writing the notes. He was like, okay, Teasha, I'm about to put you out my class. And I'm like, seriously? I was like, okay. But did you hear the comedic part of it? He was like, Teasha, go. I wound up getting Saturday school for a month.
Oh, wow.
I didn't care. I showed up on time.
Yeah.
All my work was done.
Yeah.
I earned it. You
Right.
know, I laughed real hard.
Yeah.
But when he would get mad at me, he would write in red. And he would he'd be so frustrated writing that the principal wouldn't understand what he wrote.
Oh, wow.
So she would be like, or he or she would be like, what happened? And so I tell them, they'd be like, just go to TR. Like, just go down there. So I go to TR. I'm in Miss Faulkner's room because that's the TR lady room. She's like, you can't talk in there. She's like, what you do this time? So I'm telling her, I can't talk in here because it's a rule, no talking.
Yeah.
And I'm telling her, and she's just cracking up, and she's just like, Teasha, are you going to make it to graduation? I'm like,
Apparently you did with
Yeah, AB honor roll.
see, I made it there. Like, I really, really made it there.
Now, I don't know what TR is. What's
Yeah.
that?
TOR, it was the timeout room.
Timeout.
That's what they called it in high school.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's called ILC, in-house learning.
Yeah.
I thought it was ISS.
Yeah.
Well, that was in
Suspension.
school suspension.
Yeah. Oh, is
That-
that different?
I think that's
Yeah,
different.
it's still in-school suspension.
Oh, okay.
You know.
It's just they call it different
Okay,
things.
Yeah, they just had a whole little room for it. And they'd be
Yeah.
like, you got to go to the timeout room.
I never had to go to ISS. I got sent to the assistant and principal's office a lot, but I did ISS.
If y'all can believe it, I'm trouble in high school.
I can believe it.
Despite all the awful things I did in high school, most of my parents never in school.
I mean, you also went to like
Private
a
Baptist.
private,
Yeah, a
like
private Baptist school.
Christian school. So
I was a good little two-shoes. I was a good
Yeah,
little
I
Christian
can so
boy.
see that.
I was a good little Christian boy.
the only reason why I got sent to the principal's office
Tell us, Jennifer.
was my German.
Oh, yeah, because you were pissing her off.
Pissing him off. So my German, so I'm half German, well, more than half German. I grew up in Germany. And then I took German so that I could write to my great-grandmother because she didn't speak English. So I was like, I need to learn how to read and write so that we can communicate, right? So I took German, and the German teacher was from, like, he never went to Germany ever. He learned German in an Alabama college. So he told me one time that a word in German, it was like slang. So I went home and like, Mama, is this slang? She's like, no, that's the right word for it. So I went back and I said, my mama says, and then he says something like, your mama don't know. And then, you know, of course I went off. And so I got sent. And then he would send me to the assistant principal's office all the time because he would get pissed because I would correct him. And he didn't like that. So he just kept sending me. So I'd get to the assistant principal's office and he's like, oh, you did it again, didn't you? I was like, well, I mean, he's teaching them wrong. And then he'd be like, all right. And then so it would be, I would be like the assistant principal's assistant. And I would go get kids out of classes and help him out because he knew I was just, you know, doing what I was doing. So that was the only time I got like in trouble. But I had reason.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it. But I tried not to. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, you just laughing.
Yeah, I was just laughing.
And you just laughing.
Yeah, and plus
And-
he had me and my best friend like the year before, so he already knew.
Ah.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, you just leave, just go ahead and leave."
Just get out of my room.
Yeah,
I'm tired
that's
of you people.
I'm be like, "Oh, Mr. Birch, I love you. Like, you're such an amazing." But I mean, I did pass. That was another thing. He couldn't understand how I was passing this test if I wasn't.
Because you smart.
I'd
Did
be
you
like,
read?
well, yeah. I'm like, remember when they used to give us syllabus?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You could go through this the way you want to go through it. You know, you can either be ahead or be on time. Like, I already know what you're doing. I already read over it. You done already gave me all the little vocabulary words. Plus, you got me sitting right here in front of you. I can't cheat.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, school.
Did you end up going to college?
I did. I went to University of Phoenix. I went to school online.
Oh, nice.
Y'all,
That's good.
I'm an introvert, okay? I know it don't. I know
Miss
it
Teasha.
don't. I know I don't come
Stop your
across
lying.
as an introvert, but y'all, I could be in my shell and in my bubble and just be happy. You know, just like a little floating butterfly on a unicorn cloud. I could really do that, and then I could be extroverted.
Miss Teasha.
I know.
Miss Teasha, I think you're lying. Because every time I come out of that school to pick up Kalia, I was like, you're the bubbliest person in the world. That's why I invited you on this podcast, because you can talk. We've had introverts on this podcast before, and I'm like, one word answers. That's so funny, though.
Oh no! Like at school, and see, you gotta think at school. You know, the kids are your toughest critics. Okay, they will tell you the truth and be just as honest. Okay.
Yes.
So some conversations at school, I just be sitting there like, you know, we was going over disaster. Someone says, well, what would we do if a zombie apocalypse? And I'm like, well,
that
we
was
gotta
probably
build
my
us
granddaughter
an
then.
underground shelter. You know, like I'm going through the whole entire.
Close the doors, don't open them.
Yes, like we're gonna make it, okay?
Right.
You know, survival. Kids just ask some of the biggest questions.
Yes.
And I'm like, I gotta have an answer for it.
Oh, yeah. And then just keep on asking questions.
Yes.
I answered like 10 of them. Can I please have a break?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how Zanaya was. She was a little kid. She would ask me one question after another, and I would just be sitting over.
Yeah. Wesley will ask some. Kalia doesn't ask too many dumb questions. She'll ask, like, made up questions, like, I won't say dumb, but they're just like, Kalia, this is like a fantasy world question, so of course it's, you know, whatever.
Right.
Wesley will just interrogate you and ask some questions.
Yes.
I don't know if you've experienced that with Wesley before.
Why are they doing that?
Oh, yeah.
Why are they walking? Why are they going over there? I'm like, use your imagination. I don't know. Do you want me to stop and ask them what they're doing? Because I don't know. I can guess, but I don't really know what they're doing. He is so nosy.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to? My neighbor. Why? Because they started talking to me. Why? No.
She just start telling him, I was like, he's going to be your new daddy.
No. 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 No.
I'm going to send you over there. We're not getting married. It's be like divorce.
No.
I'm just going to send you over there.
I wouldn't even do that.
No,
like,
I know. Your neighbor's crazy.
Yeah. He got hit by a train.
Oh, wow.
A
Yep.
slow-moving train.
A slow.
Well, we don't know if it was slow moving.
Can't have been going that fast.
I think he was just high.
Yeah.
And he got hit, and he was just relaxed, and he got like stitches, and he was fine. But he reminds me all the time, you remember I got hit by a train? I'm like, yep. I remember that.
Macy does.
I mean, I think he remembers the aftermath when he was in the hospital, but you know, like he asks me weird questions all the time. So it's,
Oh,
like,
wow.
I don't talk to him that much. He always initiates the conversation, but I don't want to be rude because I'm that person.
Yeah.
Like I try to,
People please.
yes, exactly. And so I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you today, you know, but I never initiate things. He's like, Jennifer! He's like over the fence.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you,
Oh
tell
my
you about
gosh,
this.
like Al from Home Improvement.
Kinda, but you can see his full face. You know,
Oh,
it's not like like just the top of the head. Yeah,
That was a 90s reference for
Yeah.
you.
No.
yeah. Well, 80s kid. I mean,
I
that
know.
works. That works.
Yes. Well, Dallas, she's the opposite. She would just sit there and she'll soak it all up. And she will tell you the tea, and it'd be so good. I'd be like, ooh, Dallas, tell me everything.
Got your glass of wine. Tell me the tea. Come on,
I'd be
it's juicy.
sitting there. I'd be like, let me just fill my cup up right quickly. She was like, Mama, let me tell you what happened. And the way it just rolls off, and I'd be like, yup, you are my kid all the way. Like, you got all the information, all the inside, all the outside. And it'd be true.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I'd be. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, wow.
I wish Wesley could tell stories, but he takes like 18 hours to tell a story that doesn't have an ending to it. And I'm like, listen to this for 30 minutes on the way home. Why? That's his stories. It's just like a round the track like 18 times to
Y'all,
get to
it'd
the
be
point.
so much going on at school. I'd be surprised that they even have like these detailed stories or something to tell.
Right.
Because you know, like it's just
Kid drama is next
oh
level.
my gosh.
So everything is like the worst or best thing that could ever happen.
Tell me about it. Oh my goodness.
So does Dallas go to the same school that you work at? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so that she just stays with you in after school?
Mm-hmm.
What grade is she in?
4th grade. So
Fourth
her and
grade.
Khalil are in class together.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So they're having a good time back there in the room while we're doing the podcast. Okay.
Yes, and then
That's
they're
good.
in after school together. So yeah.
Good. So how does it feel having a 17-year-old and a 10-year-old or 9-year-old?
9-year-old. I feel like I be in 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
A whole lot. But
Because you can talk to the 17 about more mature things.
no.
No? Oh, okay. Never mind.
I would imagine she just ignores the hell out of you like ours did.
she is in a league of her own, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just tread lightly, okay?
Right.
Because sometimes we go through those moments where I be like, I don't like you right now.
Right.
And I'll just walk away.
Yeah.
Because why are you treating me this way?
Right.
Like, I'm the one that's, you know what, before I get in all my emotions, I'm just going to walk away from
Right.
you know? But, she is easy to talk to. I don't want to make it sound like she's not easy to talk to, but she is easy to talk to. And then, like, whenever she has something going on, like, she'll ramble it off too, and I just sit there and I listen to it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna move from there? But she be wanting to talk about like way more mature stuff.
Oh.
You know?
Not what you think a 17-year-old should be talking
Yes.
about. Yeah.
I mean, she be giving me some tea on some things, and then I get caught up in the little stories. I'm like, y'all are kids, and I'm gonna just back up, but
Right.
don't be that girl.
Right.
You know? You know, don't be that.
That right.
You know, like just stay away from. Oh, whoa! Like when they had homecoming last week, you know, and I go to bed early. Okay, I shut off like as soon as I get off of work. I'm like, ooh, and then I get home and my bed be like, come on, baby.
Right.
It seems very white to me, and then you know, like I sit down and then one of those pillows would be like, girl, and you know, and I fall asleep. So hey, you're on your own.
Right.
You got to make sure you make it home. Here she comes in. I don't check. You know, I'm getting to the point where I check, but I don't check.
Right.
But as long as I hear that alarm go off on that door, y'all, I could even better.
Right.
But then I'm the parent that wakes up. Did you drink last night? Did you smoke weed? Did you have sex? I just go ahead and get all the hard questions out.
Well, there you go.
You know?
Did she answer them honestly?
Yeah, she did. She's
Okay.
like, why are you so immature?
Oh.
She said to you?
Oh. Ooh.
She was like, Mom, you're so petty. And I'm like, Emma.
I was 17 once. I know what 17-year-olds do, so I got to ask these questions.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have to. I have to make sure.
Right.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like when she gets sick. Like one day she got sick. And I was like, are you pregnant or something? And she was like, why do you always ask me that? And I'm like, because that's what they're going to ask you at the doctor's office.
Right. And
Like,
I don't want to be
duh.
surprised there. I want to know
Yep.
before we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a legitimate question.
Like, you're so gross. And I'm like, no, life happens.
Right. I'm a
okay?
parent.
And
Yeah.
that's what you have to worry about. Then she's going to be going off to college, you know.
Oh, where's she going?
She's wanting to go to Howard.
Oh,
Yes.
I keep telling Clea I want her to go there, but I don't think she's going to go.
Yes, we went on that private tour last May, this past May.
Wait, I forget where it's at.
It's in D.C.
Is it in DC? Okay, I
Yes.
thought I couldn't remember.
Now, it's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. And that hill was real coming back up. It's like, whoa, I'd be so mad if I had hiked this hill every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Exercise.
You ain't doing it.
Yeah.
No, good exercise. But I mean, I know she's going to have a really good time when she get there because she'll be going in as a junior because with them being in College Academy, they already
Where's she going to high school at?
at Jemison.
Oh.
Yep.
I'm going to try and get Clea into that
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Yes, they have that, and they have it for A&M now.
Okay.
So, but with her being in college academy, she'll go in as a junior freshman.
That's nice.
So then she'll just have 2 years, and then if she want to continue somewhere else, because after a while she said she wants to be an international student. So I'm like, so you got like big plans,
right?
Well, go ahead and do everything that you could possibly do, because you know, like, life is gonna happen.
Yep.
You know, and then sometimes people ask me like, how do you talk to her about like teen pregnancy and all of that?
How do you not?
I know, right?
It was like, that's when you get pregnant teenagers and shit like that.
Because no one's talked to them about it. Yeah.
God bless. I've been talking to, she's 9 and I've been talking to her since like 7.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, so I explained it to her, like, so you're not required to have a kid, you know, because just because you're female doesn't mean that you're required to have a kid. And just because you need to make sure you love yourself so much that you don't think that you need to have a kid for it to love you back. Like, you need to have so much love for yourself that anybody you bring out of here, you got into this world, you're going to be their protector. You're going to be their everything. So, you know, like, just, I try to make sure I explain, you know, like
the responsibility that comes with being having
it's a
kid.
big responsibility.
It's a huge responsibility.
You know, and I tell her, like, I just be so honest with my kids. I be like, I didn't want kids, you know, because they be wanting to know, like, did you ever want kids? No.
You just happened.
No, I just wanted
My daddy died and I was pregnant.
I just wanted to go through life, and, you know, I used to work in a restaurant, and so I'm at cross-trained all through the restaurant. So I just wanted to, like, to go to the different restaurants and, like, start restaurants and everything. And get them, you know, like, be one of those type of managers that move around and in the restaurant industry. And then I got pregnant and I just couldn't take the smell. I'm like, oh, it stinks in here, you know, like, I'm going home. I don't want to do this. This is gross. Like, ugh, I eat that? Like, I was going through the most when I was pregnant with her. So, like, that was my whole entire plan, and to just live, like, this kid-free life.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Because my aunts had kid-free lives.
Okay.
And I thought that was cool. Like, oh my gosh, you get to keep all your money to yourself.
Right. You can go on vacation whenever you want to. You ain't got to worry about school.
You get to be the rich auntie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's say you want to drain on your bank account and have a child.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes. And so, you know, like, I had her, and then that was it. And then, so me and my kid's dad, we are not friends. The first one we're friends, but the second one we're not friends at all. And it could be a bad thing if I made it a bad thing.
Right.
But that's not the energy that I put out, because I would rather, instead of being bitter or, you know, like, harsh, or your dad doesn't do this type of. Right. No, I just put that energy into being positive, you know, because whatever they're missing, they're just going to miss it. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and be stressed out.
Right.
And plus, you know, they're still where they're at.
Yeah. And then, I mean, even if he's not, like, in the picture all the time, there might be a day where where he's like, I'm going to take them for a couple hours. Okay, go ahead. You got a babysitter for a couple hours. Nice. No.
Oh,
okay.
Nope.
Miss Teasha just gave
never mind.
Jennifer a look.
I just got a look. Woo!
I wish we
kids.
No, you don't get a babysitter for no.
Does grandma help at all?
Yeah, she helps. I mean, the kids love going down there with her, and, you know, they have their own little crack up session. You know, Dallas has this big old bear that sits on my mama's couch, and Bubbles.
Bubbles, the
bear.
Precious.
Yes, but Bubbles is a big old bear.
Yeah.
Bubbles will freak you out because
okay.
Bubbles make you. Dallas puts the bear to forward.
Okay, that's sweet, but it's a big bear.
Yeah, it's a big old bear. I'd be like, Mama, how do you be okay with it?
Because she a grandma.
Okay, Mama. Like, you know.
Is it the type of bear where you could, like, open it up and, like, hide in it and scare people?
She probably could. Like, she could fit in there too. Yeah.
Is grandma agile enough to do that kind of thing?
No. But I think she would really do it. Get a kick out
if she
of
could,
it.
she would.
She sounds like a fun grandma.
That's fun.
Yeah, she is. My kids always talk about how she be cussing. I be like, how she say them words? And then Dallas, she be telling me. She be like, Mama, when you know how grandma say the F word. I be like.
That's going to be like Jennifer when she's a grandma.
Yep.
Grandma Jennifer cussing.
Yep. Be Oma.
Oma Jennifer.
I'm going to be an Oma.
That's right.
Oh my goodness. It's
6
a
more
Oma.
years.
Yeah, it's German for grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my mom is for Wesley, is his Oma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's shorter.
Yeah, very much so. And it's easier for the kids to say. Because we had a conversation actually today where it was like, eventually, I don't know how it came about, but we were talking and I was like, yeah, when, if I ever get to be a grandmother, I want to be Oma. He's like, why? I was like, because it's easy to say and it's, part of my heritage because I'm German-Irish. So I was like, yeah, that's what I want to be. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, even if I'm an Oma to dog, I'm okay with that. As long as you're like 30 plus.
I know, right?
Yeah, because he's been girl crazy ever since I've had him. So I'm about him.
Well, speaking of being girl crazy, the first time I ever heard Dallas's name, because like Wesley was like, "Oh, Dallas is my girlfriend."
Oh,
and
I don't
like,
remember that name.
And I wasn't sure who Dallas was because we never didn't ever talk about Dallas. So and then when I finally saw her, I was like, "Oh, she's in Kalia's grade." What? I was like, Wesley, you're like 2 grades older than her. Stop it, dirty.
Well, he has a girlfriend every other week.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, that makes more sense about him asking if.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I didn't know about that. I didn't know about Dallas. I've heard a whole bunch of names.
Yeah, me neither.
It was like a year and a half ago, so it's not like anything.
Well, I mean,
recent,
it wasn't anything. Cause
Wesley's always like, "Oh, I got a new girlfriend."
Yeah, and I'm just like, whatever. When you start taking them out on dates and like you drive, that's when you have a girlfriend. And I put it in air quotes, and he hates it because I'm like, right now, that's what you have, air quote girlfriend. You have boyfriends too. Oh no, mama, I don't. Yeah, you do, because they're friends that are boys and they're girls that are friends. You not have a girlfriend, but he gets so mad at me. So mad. First time he ever told me, "Hi, mom." Like when he called me mom, he had to say I have a girlfriend. So I'm like, it's tainted in my head. Mom and girlfriend is like together. It's sad.
Lord, these kids.
And I mean, I'm very happy that you put up with him for as long as you did.
Oh, Wesley is so much fun.
And we only got kicked out of after school like one time.
One time, I think.
At least.
So, but I mean, he probably would have been kicked out probably a lot more. I imagine that you didn't tell me everything that he did.
Well, I will say
And
you were the second after school person who we have become friends with and adore.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Definitely.
No, Wesley is fun. Okay.
Yeah. Like I picked up Kalia the other day from after school just to be like, "Hi, I miss you guys." Because I don't at Boys and Girls Club, I don't see nobody. I just sit in the car, and they come in and they give me a paper to put my information in. And he just comes in the car. I don't ever go inside.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like I don't see anybody. So I'm like, oh, I miss going in and talking to all the ladies because you guys were just really nice.
Yes. Well, he still comes to visit us before he gets on the bus.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he still comes over.
Aw.
And everything. Gives us hugs and,
Aw.
I mean, okay, so like when he left, like that first day, I was so nervous because I was like, okay, I know she said that the bus is just not his friend, but then I talked to him and he was like, oh, the bus ride's not that bad. Like, it's very short. I'm glad it's not that long though,
Right, yeah.
So, like just the little things that you would worry about, and then not having 6th graders this year at all because, there are a couple of 6th graders like after Wesley that were wanting to come. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Is that a new rule change?
Yeah, it's a new rule change.
Oh, okay.
It was for the district.
And they didn't do it until after the school year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I had to pay the registration. And then get him registered, and then wait, by the way,
this change happened. So
Boo-boo.
it's just a lot. But then I came across some more kids that that's in 6th grade. It was like we miss being around you and after school. Like you're so cool, and I'm like, oh really? Because y'all make me feel like I was boring,
right?
Oh, everybody, everybody loves you, Miss Teasha.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I took him to Blossomwood was to get him off the bus because he went to MLK first, and then they bused him to Chapman. But instead of taking him straight to Chapman, they would go all the way down like North Parkway, and so he would be on a bus for an hour and a half before he got to Chapman. I'm sorry, I as an adult at 40 years old at that time would not be able to sit still for an hour and a half without any electronics. And then I'm expecting my child that's 9 with ADHD to just sit there and not be bad. I was like, nope. So then we got him into Blossomwood, and then COVID happened. So we didn't have to bus, but that's why I picked Blossomwood because they had after school. But then Now I'm like, oh, so luckily they take him straight from Bostonwood to Boys and Girls Club, which is like 10 minutes away, so it's not that bad. He says the kids are extra on the bus, but it's not an hour and a half.
Right, of extraness.
Right.
Yeah.
And then his pillow's wearing off, and then he's got to deal with that sitting there for that long. You know, I just didn't, because I knew why he was getting in trouble, because I probably couldn't. So I was just like, okay, we'll just do this. And he likes Boys and Girls Club, but he's still, I think, guys.
Yeah, we miss him too.
And we appreciate you so much.
Oh, yes, you're welcome.
Definitely.
Well, this is, I think, a good time because we're already at an hour. So I'm
Oh, look at us.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why we love you. Oh, I knew you'd be a good guest, Miss Teasha, because I was like, oh, she can talk.
Definitely.
All right. So if for all our 11 listeners out there,
Hi, Mom.
if you have any funny stories about your kids,
Or if you need some bad parenting advice or have any ideas for topics.
email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com.
Yep.
What have we been snacking on, Miss Jennifer?
Genoa, salami, provolone cheeses and crackers.
Yep.
It's very, very yummy.
It was. I went and had lunch, and I went to Trader Joe's. I'm like, oh, I need to find like a snack. So I was like, maybe get a little cheese or something. But they had these little tiny packs of just like cheese and meat, and they were like $2 each. So I was like, just for the four of it, because for our listeners, Zane is sitting to my right,
Hello.
throwing out the peanut gallery comments.
Yep.
You know it.
I know it.
Yeah.
All right, so we've had our snack time.
Yep.
Miss Teasha, it's time for story time. You got a good funny story about Dallas or your older daughter?
So my oldest daughter, she used to have these temper tantrums, okay? This is when one day where I was just done. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to know you.
Oh.
How old was she?
She was like 5.
Okay. Oh.
Okay? Like Jeremy was her enemy at school. Okay?
Who's that? Oh, just a
So,
regular
a
kid. Okay.
little bully at school.
No, she was the bully.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Come on, Zanaya.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, we're going down the aisle at the grocery store, Ingles, okay? Nice, very nice store, big, wide aisles and everything. You know, and she's like, Mommy, I want to do such and such, such and such. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. And she has this tantrum on me, and she lays down in the middle of the floor.
Oh.
Well, you can't go anywhere.
Oh. She says that to you?
Yeah, she says that to
damn.
me. And she like puts her arms over. You know how they do. They be so dramatic.
Yep.
And she puts her arms over and she closes her eyes. So I just take the buggy and I go around her. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, this lady is coming down the aisle on the opposite side, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, whose child is that?" I said, "I don't know." I don't know who that is. I said, "Because if that was
Who's
my
that bad
child,
of a child?
I said
She
we
ain't
would be
mine.
having some problems right now, you know."
Right.
And so, you know, I'm just steady walking away. Like, I'm not looking back. I'm not giving her no satisfaction because I
Right.
know she's laying there with one eye open. Like,
Yep,
my mom's
looking.
still watching
Yep.
me. And so I just keep walking away. And the lady's like, well, we're going to have to call somebody. Yes, we are going to have to call somebody. Who do you think we should call? Like, I'm just sitting here talking to this lady. And then Zanaya gets up and she's like, Mommy. And I was like, you see this little girl calling me Mommy? Like, we got to go find her mama. I must look like
Committed
her.
to that role.
And then she's like, no, Mommy, it's me, Zanaya. And I was like, and don't you ever do that again.
Oh, damn.
Next time we come into the store and I say you can't have something, all this was over fruit snacks.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Okay?
that's
Because
it.
she decided one day that, like the last time we had went to the store, that she was going to tell her Uncle Dasher that she was going to beat his ass
Oh.
over some fruit snacks.
At 5?
Yes, and so
Oh, damn.
she thought that she was going to give me that same energy. And I was like, nope, not me. Like, I will leave you here and somebody will come and pick you up, sister.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
You better treat me good.
That's right.
And the lady was like, so that's your child? I'm like, yeah. I just needed to scare her right quick. I had to scare her. But y'all don't understand. Like, that child was like,
Well, you said to like from 2 to 9, she was a lot.
A hellion.
Extra.
she was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, she would be cute. No.
That's
We
right.
never had any
Girl.
more
That's-
temper tantrums
that's
If,
before.
That's right.
If any of our 5 listeners couldn't hear that, Zane asked if she ever did that again.
No. No.
That is
That's funny.
hilarious.
I like that.
Yes.
I might use that.
Just walk away.
Just walk away.
Just
Yeah.
pretend like right now I'm not gonna be your mom.
Yeah.
Because one day she put me in the hospital.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah. Oh, when I
Okay,
tell
hold
you.
on. So that The put in the hospital. That's the story we want. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're coming out of the dollar store, and she gets upset that I didn't buy her something.
How old is she at this time?
I mean, this is like 3.
Okay,
so we got 3 and 5, right?
Yeah.
And so she sat there and she stopped in front of me. Like, imagine you keep going, and you know, if you get your feet done like regularly, like your toes or whatever, how like
pedicure,
fragile like your toenails can become.
Yeah.
And so she stopped in front of me and like broke half my toenail.
Oh.
So I had to wind up going to the hospital and getting a tetanus shot because of her.
Oh, damn.
For being so like, ugh, you're not gonna get me anything?
Oh, damn.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. And I bumped right into it and broke half my toenail off.
Oh, damn.
I was like, you know what? I don't want no more kids after
Right.
this. So I really don't know how Dallas got here. Like, she got here on the prayer.
Yeah.
She rode that wave.
Yeah.
She rode that wave.
Yeah.
All good.
I'm about to say, you could tell your older daughter go pray for that $1 million
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
That was a good story.
That was a good story, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, to all our 11 listeners, thanks again for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting.
If you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you don't like our podcast, just like when our kids say they don't want to do their homework,
Tough shit.
go do your goddamn homework.
That's right.
Bye, Miss Teasha.
Bye. Thank you, Miss Teasha.